Dear students, today we will talk about phase change on reflection. It is given by Stokes' relations. It states that if a ray of light which is reflected or refracted will retrace its original path if its direction is reversed, with the condition that is provided there is no absorption. So today we are going to discuss about phase changes of a wave, phase changes of light on reflection. This is given by Stokes' relations, and the definition, I believe, is self-explanatory. It states that if a ray of light which is reflected or refracted from a surface, it will retrace its original path if its direction is reversed, provided that there is no absorption. Now, let us try to understand it. Suppose you have an interface, a boundary between two mediums, medium 1 and medium 2. So let the refractive index of the upper medium be n1 and the refractive index of the lower medium be n2, right? You have a ray of light which is hitting this interface, this boundary between the two mediums of refractive indices n1 and n2. It gets reflected, a part of it gets reflected, and a part of it is transmitted, right? If A is the amplitude of the incident wave, because we know it's a light ray, it's basically a wave, it will have an amplitude. That amplitude is A part of it gets reflected, and that will be given by this AR1, where R1 is the reflection coefficient in this medium, and a part of it gets transmitted, and that will be given by AT1, that is the transmission coefficient in this medium, right? Now, what do we do as per the definition if we reverse the direction of light? Let us see what happens to it. What kind of path does it trace? Now let's do that. But before that, you should know one more thing, that is the sum of the reflection and transmission coefficients is always equal to 1, because the incident light has actually split into two components. It is quite reasonable to give a meaning to this relation, that is r plus t is equal to 1. A part of it is reflected, a part of it is transmitted. The sum of the two coefficients, of course, will be 1. Now, let us reverse the direction of these rays of light in the next diagram. So how do we do that? This is the interface. Suppose this is the ray in one medium, this is the ray, incident ray in another medium. So what was the amplitude of this ray? It was AR1. What was the amplitude of this ray? It was AT1. Remember? If R1 is the reflection coefficient in the upper medium, assume that T2 is the transmission coefficient here. If T1 is the transmission coefficient in the lower medium, assume that R2 is the reflection coefficient in this medium. As already said, that the refractive index in this medium is n1 and here it is n2. Now let us see what is the fate of these lines, these rays. Now let us pick up the case of this incident ray. It has an amplitude of AR1. A part of it gets reflected, that's here. So what will be the amplitude of the reflected part? It will be AR1, R1 times. So it will be AR1 square, right? A part of it will be transmitted. What will be the amplitude of that part? It will be AR1. How many times? T1 times. Because that is the transmission coefficient. Now let us see what is the fate of this ray. It is AT1. A part of it gets reflected. What will be the amplitude of that reflected part? It will be AT1, but R2 times. R2 times. AT1 R2 times. A part of it gets transmitted. So what will be the amplitude of that part? It will be AT1, how much? R1 times. AT1, but the transmission coefficient here is T2. Again, I'm repeating that you have a ray of light, which is basically a wave. It has certain amplitude. It falls on an interface between two mediums, rarer medium and denser medium. Assume that it is air, assume that it is glass. Its refractive index is n1, its refractive index is n2. A part of it gets reflected, a part of it gets transmitted. R1 is the reflection coefficient, T1 is the transmission coefficient. We know that R plus T gives a total of 1. Now, as per the definition of this uh, phase change on reflection of this, what do? That we reverse the direction of the rays of light. This is AR1, a part of it gets reflected and a part of it gets transmitted. So we multiply the original amplitude either with the reflection coefficient or with the transmission coefficient, depending on whether it is reflected or transmitted. Similar is the case with AT1, a part of it gets transmitted and a part of it gets reflected. In case of reflection, we multiply it by the reflection coefficient. In case of transmission, we multiply it by the transmission coefficient, right? Now let us try to compare the two diagrams, right? So what do we get? We see that AR1 is equal to AR1, AT1 is equal to AT1. For A, we can write A is equal to AT1 T2 plus AR1 square. So A and A will go. We are left with T1 T2 is equal to 1 minus R1 square. This is the first relation. Now for the second, what are we going to get? That this A R1 T1 plus A R2 T1 is equal to, did we have any component on this side? No, we didn't have. So it's equal to 0. So A will go, T1 will go. We are left with R1 plus R2 is equal to 0. So R1 is equal to minus times R2. That means if a ray of light was incident in this direction, it is reflected in the negative of the same direction. So what is the total phase change? That is very easy to guess for all of you. So total phase change is pi, because it has got reflected along a line. It was incident along a particular direction. It got reflected in the negative of the same direction. So a phase change is pi. So these two relations, relation 1 and 2, these are called as Stokes equations. To understand this principle further, let us add some more description to it. What does it basically mean, phase change of reflection? For example, suppose this is the interface. You have a denser medium here and you have a rarer medium here. It is air, suppose, and suppose it is glass, right? And suppose this is the normal. When the ray of light hits the interface, if a crust has hit the surface, a trough will be reflected. If a trough has hit the interface, a crust will be reflected. That is what we mean by phase change of pi. But this happens only if the reflection takes place from denser to rarer medium. From denser to rarer medium. In case of the vice versa, that is from rarer to denser medium, this phase change, remember, does not take place. If a crust has hit, a crust will be reflected. If a trough has hit, a trough will be reflected. But in case of reflection from a rarer medium, from a denser medium to a rarer medium, remember, from a denser medium to a rarer medium, there will be a phase change of pi. That is, if a crust has hit, a trough will be reflected and vice versa. So that's all about this phase change on reflection. It's a very short topic.